The Jomon period is the key to understanding the world's ancient civilizations. The clay figures with the sunshades aren't aliens. Chapter 1. Kamegaoka Culture and the Clay Figures with the Sunshades.
There are a lot of people who say that the Jomon clay figures represent aliens. When you look at a lot of video sites, many people are saying that.
Ha ha ha! That's what they usually say about the clay figures with the sunshades. About 3,000 years ago, an advanced culture called the Kamegaoka culture began in the area spreading from the southern part of Hokkaido across the Tsuguru Strait to the north part of Tohoku region. There were odd clay figures unearthed from a ruin from that time in Aomori. Since the shape of their eyes look like the sunshades used by the Inuit or the Eskimo, they came to be known as shakoki dogu, the clay figures with the sunshades.
And did they really represent aliens?
Well, as I have never seen an alien before, I cannot tell you whether or not they would look like the clay figures with the sunshades. The shakoki dogu represented the mythical world of the Jomon people and had nothing to do with aliens.
But there was that Swiss man, von Däniken, who even published books about aliens and artifacts like the shakoki dogu and the Nazca lines, saying that modern humans were made by aliens who genetically modified apes.
That's right. In his book, Memories of the Future, von Däniken also advocates an interesting theory that Nazca's landmarks are the runways of the spacecraft or a message to the aliens. But that is not the case. The Nazca lines were also representing the mythology of the Nazcan people, and not only the period of the Kamegaoka culture, but also the pottery designs made by the Jomon people, and the shapes of the clay figures were all representations of their own mythical world.
But so many people think that the Jomon clay figures are aliens. Remember that science fiction movie a long time ago? The Village of the Damned? In order to invade Earth, aliens came to a small village and impregnated 10 women who all had their babies on the same day at the same time. One was a stillbirth and they put it in formaldehyde, but it looked just like the shakoki dogu.
A lot of aliens that look like the shakoki dogu appear in movies, but nobody has ever seen a real alien anywhere, so who knows what they look like. However, the eyes of the shakoki dogu are reptilian and reminiscent of snakes and lizards and have a lot of impact. It could be that movie makers made aliens that way in order to set them apart from humans. Whatever it is, it seems like people just want to see aliens in any shape they can explain, and they are just not bothering to think.
So why is it that the shakoki dogu have reptilian eyes?
Because all of the clay figures that were made during the Jomon period were female figures that were related to snakes.
What? Female figures that are related to snakes?
Do you know the story in Kojiki where a chief deity who is usually a serpent visits a young girl at night to give her a child? That is exactly the image that is conveyed in the mythology behind the clay figures of the Jomon people. Almost all of the Jomon clay figures are representing a young girl who is in the midst of receiving the seed of a child from a serpent god. The line across the pupil is the same as a snake eye. In order to achieve union with a serpent god descending from heaven, the girl is also changed into a serpent.
There is a professor of philosophy, Professor Takeshi Umehara, who says that the lines on the stomachs of the clay figures are scars, showing that a fetus has been removed from a dead pregnant woman.
Professor Umehara may have got his idea from a tradition of the Ainu people. When a pregnant woman died, there was a custom to cut open the pregnant woman's abdomen, take out the fetus, and bury them separately. There are other people who believe Professor Umehara's theory, but there is something that strikes me as odd about it. The lines on the abdomen of the clay figures are all from the mouth to the navel. Yet if the scar shows that a fetus has been removed, then the line would have to be below the navel. Not only that, but the clay figures are standing. I don't think that a dead pregnant woman would be standing.